channel. In today's video, I'm going to be creating a smoky eye tutorial which is super classic, super sexy and super easy to recreate. This tutorial will be useful for any eye shapes, but mine being hooded eyes, so it is also hooded eyes appropriate. So all these steps would be the same for every eye shapes. I really like how it turned out today. So without any further ado, let's get started. Okay, I'm starting with the brows today. Have your brows as light as possible. You don't want it to be too dark or too light. The eye makeup is going to be dark. Do your brows with colors a bit light, like you can choose shades of browns or grays to do your brows so that it's not too harsh. I'm using this palette from L'Oreal, and you know this, I've used it in a lot of tutorials. Just filling in the sparse areas. Now prep your eyelids with a concealer or a eye primer of your choice. So make sure the concealer is closest to your skin tone and it has a yellow undertone to it so that it corrects your dark circles. Using a flat concealer brush to blend it out. Concealer brush to make sure that the concealer stays in place. So obviously you want to start with the eyes because while working with the dark eyeshadow there's a possibility of the fallout, and it's very hard to clear it up when you do the base first. So whenever you do eye makeup which is dramatic and which involves shades of darker colors, then you have to do your eyes first to control the mess. I'm taking this translucent powder from PAC to set the concealer. This powder is very finely milled and it has a yellow tint to it. So next step is that this step is totally optional. Like, I'm going to take a bit of highlighter and apply a coat of it on my lids. Why I do is that it's going to be totally matte and dark, so a bit of highlighter, like the finish of it, it gives a perfect sheen amongst the matte colors. Take a kohl pencil of your choice. I'm using this Nykaa I Am Bold kajal, and preferably a kohl kajal because the kohl kajal is more oil based and waxier than a regular kajal. So make sure you use something waxy so that it glides on your lid. Now start roughly applying the kajal. It doesn't have to be proper or neat. Since our lid space is really small, so start filling in with small amount. Start closest to your lids. It doesn't have to be perfect, like I said. My eyes is a bit of downturn, so I will always stop any colors a little above where it actually ends. Take a fluffy brush and start blending it out. Start blending the edges first. You have to work a bit fast because if the kajal dries out, it's going to be really hard for you to blend. Monkey eyes is all about blending, so blend, blend, blend. You can go on with another layer. Make sure it is darkest near your lash line, and as you blend, the gradient has to go lighter. It has to go from super black and faded black and grey, and then to your transition shade. You can take any eyeshadow, like any black eyeshadow, and you have to set the kohl. Also only use the black eyeshadow and call it a day, but the we use cream underneath to get the maximum intensity. It will last longer and the intensity will be super black. Only set the cold closest to your lash line because our lid space is too small. So if you take it further higher, it will obviously transfer onto your crease, which we don't want. Now you can use any colors as your crease shade. I prefer browns, so I'm going to be taking this brown, a rustic brown, as my crease shade. So you obviously have to look straight and then apply. First dab according to your crease shape and then blend. You can use small circular motions or classic windshield wiper motion. Okay, moving on to the face. Make sure you clean up the edges and also clean out any fallouts you have under the eyes. Neutrogena Hydro Boost Moisturizer. I'm using the Biotic lip balm to prep my lips. Next, taking the Pack Pore Primer, and I'm going to be applying it on my T-zones and the pore area. Color corrector, I'm using the NYX Conceal and Correct palette, and I'm going to use this orange shade to color correct. If you don't color correct, the foundation you use or the concealer you use, it's going to turn grey after a while where you have pigmentations and dark spots. Basically, when you do a dramatic eye look like this, all the attention should be the eyes. Try and do a clean base as possible. I have a detailed video on how to do the base, so I will link it here so that you can check it out. It's even more detailed than it will be now. So moving on to the foundation, I'm using this Pack HD foundation in the shade 3.1. It's not super matte or not super dewy, so it's very perfect. Such a nice foundation. Something I would repurchase again and again. So yeah, dot the foundation. Take any concealer so you cover the blemishes that's still breaking through. The foundation will cover most of the blemishes, but sometimes few blemishes will peek through even after we use the foundation. So you can go on with the concealer after that. Under eyes. Make sure you keep your under eyes as bright as possible because all the attention should be your eye makeup. We don't want any dark circles to distract that. So push the product into your skin. You don't want to move the product. Push the product. I'm further taking a lighter shade of concealer. This is the Maybelline Fit Me concealer in the shade medium. So I'm going to set my face with the same Pack powder, and I'm not going to set the entire face. I'm just going to set wherever we applied the concealer and wherever I sweat a lot. Get rid of the creases and apply the powder. Your lower lash line the same way. Apply some gentle amount of kajal and take it only halfway. Use the crease colors to kind of soften it out. So I'm going to use this color and the brown. applying some mascara. So I'm not going to apply any false lashes today. I'm out of false lashes. 2 to 3 coats of mascara is more than enough for these kind of looks. I'm going to be taking this highlighter shade and I'm going to highlight my inner corners. And there's also a detailed video on how to do eye makeup on hooded eyes, and I will link it here. You can check it out. I'm going to warm up my face using the Master Chrome palette, and I'm using this color to warm up my face. Since the base is already flat and there's no dimension seen, it's really important to at least bronze your face so that it gives you the warmth. Contour your nose. It doesn't have to be too harsh or something, but just giving the warmth and some definition around your nose. I'll be using the same pack highlighter to highlight my face. So I'm going to be using the blush from the same palette. I'm using the angled brush so that it is angled. That's how it's supposed to be. It's not here on your cheek, but it has to be angled. Moving on to the lips. Usually when you do a dark eyes, I always like to keep the lips as nude as possible. Lip color, Argan Absolute Lip Color. It's super nude for my skin tone. I don't like a true nude. I think it kind of washes me out. So I'm going to be mixing with the Maybelline Creamy Matte Lipstick in the shade Touch of Spice, and the Lakme shade was Soft Nude. This is how the final look is. If you feel that too much darkness makes your eyes look too small, you can always add a nude pencil in the waterline so it brightens up your eyes. This look is all about blending. If you get the blending right, I'm sure everybody can pull it off. And so you can always add and subtract according to how you like it in the makeup, and yeah, I quite like it. Leave your thoughts below. And there's a cut crease tutorial coming up. Make sure you hit the bell icon to get notified, and thank you so much for watching, guys. I see you in my next video. Bye.